I just automated my entire content creation process using what I call AI orchestration. And I'm about to show you exactly how it works. Watch this. I'm going to say, can we make a LinkedIn thought leader post about this exact topic? So let's give this an enter. And while this is working, in real time, you'll see my system activate multiple agents, pull my business context, analyze my brand voice, and create content that sounds exactly how I wrote it. No prompting, no editing, no back and forth, guys. Just one command and my entire AI infrastructure comes alive. And here's what's happening behind the scenes. We are activating specific files from the knowledge base, cognitive architectures, example markdown files, and it's taking my business context, ICP profile, my brand voice, plus my product strategy into context. Take a look at this post, guys. This is a really solid post. We can give it a copy here, and this is not even close to being anything what this tool actually does. So let's just close this. As you can see, it's a really solid post. You can give it a read. I can instantly eyeball it and tell you this is a really solid post. Now, the real magic happens over here. Now, can we convert this into a Twitter AI live type post as well? So, what this tool does, it's a complete waterfall effect where one LinkedIn post, a YouTube script, anything can then be converted into a LinkedIn post, a LinkedIn lead magnet post, a Twitter post, a Twitter lead magnet post, a newsletter post, a YouTube script, anything really you have in mind. Like, take a look at this. Most people, now look at this. This is perfect for Twitter, as we can see over here. Now let me copy this over here. And this is, as you can see, this is a really compelling Twitter post, okay? And now, can we convert this into a LinkedIn lead magnet post? And something along the lines of, for the hook, I just have a vague idea. Let's make it something like, they can get my AI first framework for businesses that agencies typically charge $10,000 for, 10K for. So I think that could be the hook. Refer to your knowledge base as well and let me know and come up with a post. Let's see what this gives. It's going to give me in one shot. I can confidently say and the reason, guys, I'm always solving my biggest bottlenecks and problems, and when I solve them, I just come and I show the rest of the world, right? I'll tell you exactly why I had to create this, but let's give it a second. As we can see, it's going to create a really compelling lead magnet post as well. And the secret sauce to this, guys, is because LLMs, they work like operating systems. They need organized file structure, deliberate access control, and precise activation patterns. And while this is working, for some reason it's taking a little bit longer, let me open Claude itself over here and show you the exact infrastructure that this project is built on. As we can see over here, okay, let's take a look. It's finally creating the post. It's activating specific files, guys. You can see it is activating specific files. Look at the thought pattern. It's activating it and then boom, that no business, and I'm giving you the exact framework for free. There you go. This is a really good. I would probably remove the emojis because I don't like putting emojis, especially this one in my lead magnet posts. But as you can see, let's copy this and let's take it over here and paste it. As you can see, guys, agencies charge to buy AI that know your business context, and I'm giving you the exact framework for free. Boom. This is clean. Comment the CTA I like it, taking it down before it goes into a client only wall. Boom. Perfect. Okay. And now can we convert this into a lead magnet for X as well? And I'm going to show you something even cooler. I've basically gamified the entire system because it's like it's almost like you can imagine like there's specific activation points where I'm going to tell it, can we make it more conversion driven? Okay, I don't know if shit, it's whatever. So as you can see, let's take a look at the one for this one. Agencies charge that know your business, and fuck it, I'm giving you the exact framework for free. This is exactly the type of copy that does really well. Reply plus retweet plus follow me, guys. If you know Twitter lead magnets, this is the exact way you want to be making the CTA basically. As you can see, serious business owners only. And finally, okay, can we make it more conversion driven? And let's give it a second. As you can see over here, so it's a boost framework. Activating a specific it's boosting it basically with a persuasion amplifier. And take a look at this, bro. Damn. Even I sometimes look at this, and now look at this. We basically, let's take a look. Holy shit, agencies charged for this activity. Why are you getting frustrated? I just leaked the exact framework that built. This isn't theory, it's the exact one. Don't. Look at the capitalization, guys. And I haven't scripted this video at one bit at all. So I'm just going to be ranting a little bit, but I think it's going to be incredibly valuable for the ones of you who are really serious about understanding LLM infrastructure from first principles. So now let's get into the exact system and how this works. Okay, so you just saw it work in real time, and here's what most people won't understand. This is not just another AI prompt or a GPT wrapper, Claude wrapper in this case. This is a completely different approach that I had myself built. If you've seen my AI ghostwriters, let me show you the exact problem and bottleneck I had myself. Where, if we take a look at this, guys, look at all these projects. I was basically drowning in a graveyard of Claude projects. I had LinkedIn Ghostwriter, a LinkedIn Thought Leader, LinkedIn Value Writer, LinkedIn Lead Magnet. Look at all of these. And I myself honestly got lost within it, lost in the sauce. I cannot lie. The only thing I remembered from time to time would be the lead magnet writer for X or for LinkedIn. And every single time, guys, I had to produce new content. I had to switch. Number one, I had to remember which project I have to go to. Number two, I have to copy paste everything one by one by one. Number three, I have to make sure that all my context profiles, as you can see, my brand voice, my ICP, my personal profile, my business context, my product strategy is updated. And I keep updating these. I update these on every other day, honestly. So every single time for all these different projects, which is a LinkedIn Thought Leader, a LinkedIn Value Writer, a LinkedIn Lead Magnet, X Lead Magnet, Newsletter, Scripter, YouTube Content Agent, I had to come and manually change everything. I just created a new bottleneck for myself. Sure, it's high performing content, but it is not optimal and it's a pain in the ass. And I had to fix the formatting for each platform. It was pure chaos, and especially context switching rather. If you take a look at this, guys, we have a lot of files in here, okay? Let's scroll all the way to the bottom. You have my business context. As you can see, my context profiles are over here. We have the exact setup on a high level. We have the markdown files, as you can see, which if you have, I would really recommend watch the Ghostwriter video I have created previously. You're going to understand why that is so valuable and why it is so pivotal to creating a high converting Claude project, GPT project. GPT-5 has come out. Maybe that's really good. Might switch to that. Who knows? Then I have my exact prompts over here, right? And then finally, I have neural psychology matrices, persuasion amplifier.json and whatnot. So let's get into a little bit of education, number one, as to why this is really important. So if we can come over here, let me click into this. The way most people create their projects is that this is the system prompt, right? And then you have little knowledge base files that the agent or the project or the project can refer to from time to time. And this is the exact setup that I had myself. The reason you guys most people are getting AI slop is because you have content or your project, it doesn't know two things, right? So let's go back. Your AI agent, it does not know who you are. And I apologize for the writing, guys. Like I said, this video has not been scripted and this is like just, me free flowing through it. So it doesn't know who you are. It doesn't know your business profile. It doesn't know anything about your ICP, your audience psychology. And number two, the reason why most of the content automations frankly suck is because it doesn't understand the platform native formatting, guys. Platform formatting, right? And on a high level, you need to understand, guys, each social media platform, it has a different culture. It has a different type of formatting. When people say repurposing content, most people get it completely ass backwards. You cannot just simply copy a high performing LinkedIn post and just dump it into Twitter and hope it performs. You cannot do the same vice versa, and you cannot do that onto Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. They all have a native structure and formatting that works best within them. And we already solved this problem, if you think about it, on a high level, where how do we fix the who? We fix the who through context profiles, right? And I've already created videos about that, and I would really recommend you to start understanding what context engineering is. Context engineering, context profiles, you can call it either way. And this we fix through markdown formatting, where we very precisely, we tell the AI that you have to analyze the structure, the syntax, to specifically understand when are there line breaks, when are they emojis, right? When is the number one emoji, when are arrows being used, when are bullet points being used. You need to, or when are, dividers being used. Like on LinkedIn, I use a lot of dividers. I just like it. It's a personal preference. And the exact example can be shown over here, where if I go back and let's search into one of my LinkedIn thought leader, for example, as you can see, we have the example markdown post, and this I've already shown the system. I really recommend you to look at the Ghostwriter. This is a really complicated add-on onto it. Okay, so you can see we have this over here. This is a markdown file, and I think this system instructions would make the most sense. You are a senior LinkedIn ghostwriter who specializes in positioning, blah blah blah. So this is the identity-based prompt, which I've again spoken about. You do not want to just tell AI, you know, that you are a LinkedIn or you're an expert ghostwriter optimized for creating LinkedIn lead magnets that drive conversion. That is incredibly surface level, guys. Incredibly surface level. Let's be honest. If everyone is doing that, do you think it's going to work? You take all the alpha away, right? Let's be honest. So you have to give AI weird personalities, because that's when you dive really deep into knowledge layers. AI is trained on billions and billions of data set points. And then you can see what we have over here. We instructed specifically, you have to mimic vocabulary, diction, writing style, and post structure with surgical precision. Okay, and then we tell it 350 words in this case, mirror the exact formatting, spacing, and structure from example post, focus on blah blah blah. Okay, and then we have this over here. But my biggest bottleneck with this system came that now this exact system that I have over here, I'm going to remove this. It's perfect. I've been using it for a decent amount of time, and it generates really good copy for me. Let me just remove this entire thing. But the biggest issue I had is now that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 different projects, and I lost track. Now my job, my bottleneck is if I want to repurpose, because I want to ramp up the volume of my content. But now I cannot do that because I have so many different projects. I'm lost in context. I'm honestly just lost in a graveyard of Claude projects. And you can see it over here. This is exactly what I had to solve for myself. Instead, what we have, guys, is now let me show you the exact system prompt. And this is going to be complicated. This is not, it took me a decent amount of time to get my head around. So we have it over here, and I'm going to go on a high level over this. What we do now is, like I showed you over here, the system prompt, instead of giving AI an identity that you are a content agent or something, and then making it refer to specific knowledge base files that we typically do, which is what I had before, right? We gave it a role, as you saw, you're an LinkedIn obsessive, blah, blah, blah. And then we give it the knowledge base file, and we even give it the business intelligence. Like I said, we have the context profiles, and that can be, you know, that can be ICP, that can be your business profile, that can be your brand voice. It can be either of them. Ideally, you want to have all of them. But as you can see, this is limited because now I have to create individual projects for everything. So now we completely flip the script. And what we have now is something really cool. And it's going to be a bit of a shift in, you know, how you think about LLMs. But the way you want to think about it is that this is an orchestration system, a unified cognitive base with all your context. So as you can see over here, let me close this. I'm going to go back and forth. You can see we have my context profiles over here. So what do we have? We have a unified cognitive base over here. As you can see, with 1, 2, 3, 4. So here is my business profile. Just once, guys. I'm not now copy pasting this. If I make any updates, I just make it to one project. That's it. My brand voice, let's say, my ICP, my product strategy, and let's say, for instance, is my personal profile. If I want to make more storytelling, personal type posts. Okay. So one, it has access to all of this. Right? It has access to a unified cognitive base of all your context. Then we have multiple specialized cognitive architectures. Okay? As we can see over here. And let me show you exactly what I mean. I think opening this would make the most sense over here. By cognitive architecture, I'm referring to the prompts. The exact prompts, guys, that we had initially in all the individual projects, the system instructions, those are now cognitive architectures that the AI will specifically refer to. We will trigger that part in the knowledge base only when we are told to, or when there's a trigger word basically. You can see the Twitter lead magnet prompt, AI live prompt. You can see this one as well over here. You can see the LinkedIn thought leader prompt. All of this, oh sorry, this is the examples file. So this is the markdown. But you can see we have the exact ones. We have one prompt, we have one cognitive, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So all those 6 projects I had initially, They are now all in one system, one cohesive system, and this is incredibly scalable. You can see I'm just taking 3% of the project capacity. It is nothing. You can add like I said, newsletters, sales copies, VSLs, funnels, emails, anything really. Okay? And how do we exactly trigger this? Let me come back to the exact prompt that we have over here. You have access to 20 specialized files that create sophisticated business content. You must reference specific files based on user requests. You never guess. Okay, and then we give it a little bit of a thinking methodology. I found this to be useful because otherwise it was just rushing through and it wasn't paying specific attention to each prompt, which I really needed to in this case. So first, when user requests content, you have to identify the required files, extract the constraints from the prompt file, the word count, the tone, the requirement, study formatting patterns from example files, execute following those exact constraints, and deliver final results. This is just the internal thought process of the AI in this case. It is not outputting anything. Do this analysis internally, never ask questions or confirm anything. Finally, now we tell it the exact files we have, guys. Core context, always active for strategic intelligence. So these 3 files, I'm always activating no matter what. No matter what piece of content I produce, the AI is always going to refer to my business context profile, my ICP profile, and my brand voice profile. These 2, it can only act. This is a little bit vague. I might have to improve this as I keep, maybe I'll do it in a couple of days, but I found these 2 to not be that relevant. Then we have the cognitive architectures, and this is where we have the prompts, guys. The prompt. LinkedIn prompts, the LinkedIn formatting patterns. Can you see, guys? We've basically taken all those 6 projects that we had, 6, 7, 8, 100 probably not 100, and made it all into one. And you can see, guys, I hope you can read this through. And then we have enhancement frameworks, which I'm going to get into. But then look at the activation rules. When user says LinkedIn dumb down post prompt, it first activates this exact file, then it activates this, and then it activates the exact context, as you can see. And if you want an example, let's test it out once again. So I think it was this one. Yes. Okay, so can we now make a LinkedIn dumb down post based on this exact copy, not on the lead magnet, but the first post we made for just, the LinkedIn valuable post, but now let's make it dumb down. And now this is going to be the best demo because you're going to see which files it activates. And, oh sorry, wait, I have to pause it, guys. It did not catch. Can we make because the dumb down is the trigger word in this case. So yeah. Let's do it once again. And as you can see, guys, it's going to activate. You can see, let me activate. See, it's activating the right files, guys. As you can see, instead of having 10 separate brains that don't talk to each other, you get one super intelligent system that knows your entire business. And you can see, guys, the dumb down post is basically me. It is a simple system that I made to make it really simple, the copy, very top of the funnel stuff. So, it's not too sophisticated because typically the more sophisticated your content, the lesser impressions and reach it gets. That's why, this is just a really simple post. And you can see this is perfect, right? It's a really clean post. Why AI sounds like garbage and how to fix it in 5 minutes. That's the rehook. And boom, it's simple, it's short, it's really simple for anyone to understand who might not even have a high level understanding of AI. So let's come back to the prompt, and as you can see, this is the activation rules, guys. Then we have a workflow. You must reference exact files and explain the files you're using. So I just did this for pure visibility as I was testing the system. Then we have boost frameworks. I'm going to get into that. I've basically gamified the thing because what we have given is if we come back over here, I've given it context profiles or context profiles essentially of really high copy, like frameworks. Because most of what I see online is, people are creating these context profiles of famous copywriters, but they're just keywords. You're just giving it keywords about, make it more pain driven or something, but I give it an exact way of thinking. The way I want you to think about this specific system now is that we're not giving it an identity over here in the system prompt. We are giving it it is an orchestration agent. So it does not have an identity anymore, guys. The identity is stored over here in the cognitive architecture. What we have, so this is not this. It is not an identity. Instead, it is simply orchestrating stuff, right? It is an orchestrator for real. If you look at the prompt as well, it is simply understanding which files to activate, and the reference files in the knowledge base have everything. So here we have prompt 1, let's say. We have prompt 2. And then we can keep having different prompts. And then for each subsequent prompt, we couple that with, so we have this, Then we couple that with the examples, or let's call it the markdown files. I don't want to call it markdown files because I know it sounds a little bit ugly, but as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, like you saw for the Ghostwriter setup. So what we're doing, guys, is now we have the business intelligence over here, but we are also coupling that, if we come over here, with the platform native copy, if that makes sense. We're combining the best of two worlds, if you understand. And this is exactly why, because like I said, this is really what I call a cognitive architecture, because these are not just prompts, number one, guys. If you saw those prompts, I've already covered it before, that you want to talk about identity-based prompting, not role-based prompting. You need to give AI weird personalities to actually get interesting outputs. They are complete psychological frameworks, and each one activates different parts of your business intelligence. Brand voice patterns, customer psychology maps, conversion triggers, platform-specific formatting. So when I say LinkedIn lead magnet, it's not just write a post. It becomes a conversion-obsessed marketer who knows my exact audience psychology. And this is not basic. If I can show you exactly what it is. Like if you look at my ICP profile, guys, it is very, very, very comprehensive. This is literally, it comes from my sales calls and it updates it every single time if it sees an opportunity to do so. What keeps them awake at night, right? Let's take a look. Lies they've been told my ICP. One size AI fits all solutions and works for every business. AI tools alone will solve business problems without strategic thinking. This is a fact. Cheap overseas developers can handle AI projects. Again, another lie. AI will completely replace human workers. Another farce. When AI is actually there to amplify and really boost the productivity of those who can genuinely embrace it and make it a part of them, an extension to their work. And then finally, guys, the coolest thing about the system, what I really, really like, is let me just have this over here. Finally, so let's say all of this is the typical stuff. Then we have the coolest part, where let's come back to the system. We have something, I've gamified the entire thing. If we come, we have enhancement frameworks, because sometimes the copy can be a little bit boring. As you saw, I told it, can we make it more conversion based? And you saw it activated this specific JSON file, which is psychology trigger amplification. So it is literally like a game, right? If you think about, you're playing GTA 5 or some game, you're like, can we boost it a little bit more? Can I get more stealth? Can I get a little bit more speed, agility in a game, right? You just pay, you put some credits, tokens, or just some coins or whatever, and you do that. For us, we do the exact same thing. And you can see workforce, boost frameworks, as you can see. And if we see boost activation phrases, so now if I say build more authority, let's do this one. Build more authority is going to apply this exact context profile, the strategic copy architecture, and make it more. It's going to apply those exact frameworks and boom. And let's just do it. So let's come over here and let's say, okay, can we build more authority now? And let's see. I've actually not tested this specific framework a lot so far, but I'm super confident it's going to activate the right knowledge base layer again. As you can see, the boost, strategic copy architecture, and how to fix them. And now let's take a look for being too blah blah blah. And I do not want to go over the exact same thing, like compare and contrast like the initial one versus the other one, but I can promise you it has definitely made the copy more compelling after taking this one into consideration. This exact JSON context profile about thinking, because we want to give AI a framework of thinking, guys. You don't want to just give it keywords that, you make it more pain-based marketing. What does it mean, pain-based marketing? 5 different people are going to execute or act upon that keyword differently. Okay, so this is what I wanted to say. And as for how to set up this exact system for yourself, what I can provide, guys, is I cannot provide my exact ICP or my context profiles, because that does contain confidential or personal information about myself and the business. But what I would really recommend, number one, is look at my Ghostwriter video. It is right there on the video in the channel. And I can also provide the exact context profile generator that I use for myself. I'm going to provide this file, just take a look at this. I'm going to provide a Notion document, create this for yourself, and you can literally dump 10,000 lines of sales calls, and you can tell it which specific context profile you want to make. You can see in its template library, it has a business context profile, it has a brand voice, it has marketing strategies, it has ICP, it has content strategy, it has your product roadmap, and it has audience psychographics, and it has YouTube script writing. So, and you can also tell it just in general to make a different context profile altogether. What I can also provide, guys, is for this one, I can provide the exact prompt that I do have. And yes, and I'm going to be covering this a lot more about why, and this is number one, this is exactly why my content converts while others get ignored. I every single week get at least 10 guaranteed book calls from qualified businesses, most of whom I do close, and it is not because of better writing, it's because number one, of business intelligence. I have optimized my own workflow. Guys, I'm managing 20 plus clients, many developers, but I still have to produce content because that is on a high level, that is a part of my moat, right? And I want you guys to also be able to produce such content. And in the next few videos, I'm really going to break down exactly how to build your own cognitive architecture, the exact context profiles I use and when to activate them, the psychological trigger systems, and how to eliminate context switching forever. Because like I said, I myself am producing content across different types of social medias. So I hope this video was valuable, and I hope it made sense about how exactly the architecture works of the system, where AI is now you're saving the identity, the content, the cognitive architectures, the whatever it is, along with the markdown files and your context profiles in the knowledge base, and you're activating specific ones at specific timings with specific trigger words. It is really clean, and it is literally like you have your own content OS. That is why I have literally called it Aryan's Content OS. If you can see the name, I think it's covered due to the screen. And I'm going to keep improving my own systems. And yes, if you're a business owner who is bottlenecked by AI slop or trying to produce high quality content that converts for yourself, this is the type of system you want to create for yourself and eventually delegate to a VA, right? This is exactly what we've done for many businesses, entrepreneurs, influencers at the same time as well, where we create the system for them. We really refine it to a T. We have this waterfall effect as well, number one. So if you're a content creator and you create podcasts, that transcript can now instantly, through a system such as this, be converted into high converting posts for all types of social medias. And there's a link in the description to book in a call. I'd love to get to know you, and we can create something really cool for you or your business. And if you're simply looking to implement this type of system for yourself, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to provide a Notion document in the first link in the description. It will definitely have the exact system rule. Take a look. You can see, guys, here, this is exactly what I have. I would really recommend, the best way to learn, guys, is not just copy paste. It's not a secret what I have over here. It's just, you can see these are the prompts. This is the markdown file I have. This is simply a collation of just really good posts that I like myself. This is like a thought leader on LinkedIn, and I've made videos on how to save this as a markdown file. Then here are my prompts. I have also shared the system for identity based prompting, and then as you can see, I'm going to provide the exact content agent, the context engineering or context profile generator as well over here, where I'm going to provide this one, and this one along with this thing over here. So put this into Claude. This is the exact setup I have, guys. Exact setup I have. I use this to create context profiles for myself, for my clients, and for my team as well, so they can also be empowered. Because guys, the way, especially if you're a business owner, the way you want to be thinking, the reason your team is not being able to adopt AI, or they're just stuck all day, in this limbo with ChatGPT, arguing, fighting, getting shitty outputs, is because they're not using ChatGPT or Claude, whichever LLM it is, that actually has your profiles. What we do with a lot of businesses is we create these exact systems, and then the entire team is empowered all of a sudden. Imagine every single one of your employees is using an LLM, but it already has all your business profile, or they already have all of this information. So whether they're, accounting, they're on the marketing side of things, the sales side of things, how much more intelligent and productive would they be if the LLM they are using has all this information on the back end in a project, and now they basically are starting from a 90. Typically, every single person using AI is starting from 0 every single time, restarting a new chat, doesn't know shit about you, let's be honest. And I know, because I had the same problem, guys. I'm just solving my own problems, and once I think it is at a pretty decent level, the systems, I share it, and those of you who want to implement it, feel free to do so. But either way, I've not scripted this video at all, and I think I've just been ranting, and it's been long enough. So I hope you all are having a good one, and peace.